at home right now because he
is the devil. That's who he is.
He is a sweet boy, but he does get pow-pows when he chooses to eat poop out of the cat litter box.
They're sweet little treats. So those are. Anyways, hello, my name is Michael Gramling. I'm the Bard Creative.
And I am Cindy Munoz, your High Priestess 710.
And today is a day like any other day, but today is more special because we're here with you today.
Yes, on a Tuesday, and not a Thursday, but a Tuesday as a regularly scheduled program.
Yes.
Not a Thursday, but a Tuesday.
Because there's something important happening this Thursday.
Well, yeah, but normally our streams are
just,
Tuesdays
like,
in general, you know what I'm saying. But Thursday is Thanksgiving. I mean, if you were not a fellow USA person,
and USA?
Human, it may seem a little odd what we celebrate, but hey, you know, it's all about for me the gobble gobbles and
it's all about the gobble gobbles.
About the gobble gobbles and the family times and drinking a lot of beer,
a lot of apple cider. Anyways, following that, we have a couple of things on our morning announcements list before we get into the bulk of things.
Yeah.
First thing up there is some new Unearthed Arcana that has been released.
Yes.
This is for the Fighter, Rogue, and Wizard. This is all playtest material. If you were able to check out the Unearthed Arcana that they all released earlier, hopefully you did the survey. If not, please send them their survey. Let them know how
I still got to do that.
I like all the stuff they put out.
Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, you were Zeke was a Rune Knight.
Mm-hmm.
You played the Druid of the Swarm.
Yeah, and I told Zeke if he was going to play it, he was going to have to fill out the survey too, and he said he would love to.
So they just released stuff for the Fighter, Rogue, and Wizard, and this is all psionics based. So they came up with the psionics tradition for the Wizards.
Do it,
they have they have a psionic themed.
Why am I using your pen?
Oh, give it back. Thing for the Fighter and the Rogue. So if you haven't already, go to dndadventuresleague.com.
Is it dndadventures.org or .com? It's .org, isn't it?
Yeah, it's .com.
Let's find out.
I think it's .com. Go there, find it.
AdventuresLeague.org.
AdventuresLeague.org.
AdventuresLeague.org. Find the playlist material. It's all free. It's a PDF. Check it out, read through it, play test it, and then leave them with your thoughts, advice, changes, things like that.
Yeah. Tell them if you love it. Tell them if you hate it. What you loved about it. What you hated about it. What you would like to keep about it.
Yeah. I read the Psionics tradition for the Wizard, and it's pretty rad. I like the stuff that they all have on.
I still, for me, the Rogue, the like ghost. What was it called? I can't remember.
The Return.
That one, honestly, I still feel like that would better suit a sort of race, like as a race trait, than it would a class trait. I still stand by that after really reading it and like sitting there and actually trying to put a character sheet together of it. I was like, you know what? Nope, I'm done even trying here because I still stand by my first decision.
You're super lackluster of the Swarm Bug Lady.
Oh, you're just jealous of her because she was freaking adorable and amazing.
No, your character was
You loved her. You were totally falling in love with her. She was awesome.
Well, check out the Soul Knife. It's the new rogue archetype.
I will try that. I will check it out. Wait, let's open it up. Can we take a look at it?
If we want to.
Do we have time to take a quick peek at it?
If you want.
Yeah, I kind of want to open it up and look at it really quick.
Go for it.
Let's
Fire away.
open it up. Okay.
So we get that underway. I'll continue. The second thing we
I
have
do
on the list: Rick and Morty versus Dungeons and Dragons. The box set is out. It's $29.99. You can get a physical copy at your local game store. I think you can even pick it up at Target. There are also digital versions. So if you're playing on Fantasy Grounds or Roll20.net, you can always get their stuff there. You can get the book on D&D Beyond to make your characters. Fantastic artwork. It's incredible. The Rick and Morty box set is really cool. Comes with a DM screen, a whole bunch of really cool rad stuff. So check that out. The next thing on the list I have is The Mandalorian Episode 3 premiered. Hopefully you watched it. If you didn't, you should probably watch it. It's really good. I just watched it.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
It is predictable.
No, it's not. It is not even close. I mean, I don't know. To me,
aliens and bounty hunters and predict.
It was beautiful.
So hopefully
it was horrific and beautiful.
The next episode 4, everyone's really looking forward to is coming out this Friday.
I don't know if we're talking about.
What about that Dragon Prince?
That Dragon Prince life. If you guys don't, I don't know, but like Ben says he hasn't checked it out, but you got to check it out. It's amazing. It's like. Josh says it's D&D cartoon animated style.
It's from the same people who produced Avatar from Nickelodeon. So the writing is phenomenal. The voice actors are all familiar. It's a really good. I mean, what I will say is like the first 2 episodes are a little bit shaky. It's kind of like yeah, but after that, I mean, the show really picks up. It's really fun.
Here we go.
Finding it. We keep going. If you're looking for a good gift, an expensive, shiny gift that you want to give a loved one or a friend, December 12th is going to be release of D&D's Sapphire Anniversary dice sets. It's their sapphires and shiny bits, and it's dice. It's going to be for $299.99 retail. Check it out. It's a really beautiful set, and if you find someone that you want to get that for, or maybe even for yourself, December 12th is when you're going to be able to do that.
So I'm looking on here, and the only thing I see for a rogue is a.
You're in the wrong one.
Which one am I supposed to be on?
You need to find the. Oh, you might have to go to Twitter.
I'm on the actual website.
It's here. You'll have to put it in your search bar. But I caught it from.
All right, I guess we'll have to do this on another day. We'll figure it out. We'll do it next week. We'll talk about this next week then. I want to take a look at this.
Yeah.
I'd like to do this next week, so we'll take care of it and we'll get into a little bit more detail on it then.
Yeah. Following that, the DM's Guild. So a lot of modules have come out from the Extra Life campaign that's kind of has been going on. It's been amazing. Everyone in the supports from the community, Extra Life, all of that stuff has been super rad. Get your copy of Adventure with Muck. It's super cute. I haven't gotten to go through the whole thing, just the first couple.
What is it about?
It's you and your friends are going on an adventure with a goblin named Muck, and his
goblins are hot right now. They're hot.
They're a hot commodity,
dude. They're the new. What are the little? Wow, it escapes me. The little tiny like dragon, like
the new kobolds.
They're the new kobolds this season. They're like this season's cobalt. You know what I mean? The kobolds were hot last season. This season it's all about the goblins.
All about those goblins.
Ooh, they're in fashion.
But the Adventure with Muck is super cute. Huge fan of the writers. Check it out. They also have the Infernal Machine rebuild. You can also get that as well. And if you don't care about the modules, but you want some cool supplement resources, they have also released like the Infernal font. So you can make your own Infernal messages to give to your players.
We got to open that up for Sylvie.
Get her the Infernal font? Yeah.
She has to. Or else Jasper's not doing his job.
So, and then lastly I have on the list is Thanksgiving. We already kind of talked about it, but we're going to talk about it one last time. Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday.
Yes, it is. What are you doing?
Oh gosh, I'm doing a lot of things. I'm going to eat turkey at many homes. I'm a vagabond for Thanksgiving. That's what I am. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a baby this time, so I'm gonna get extra goodies.
Oh.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do? I call this the Operation Pie Swap. So my grandma makes like a blackberry cobbler.
Okay.
But she also loves my baby. So what I'm gonna try to do is I have to time it right. She's gonna be holding the pie.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, grandma, baby, and so I'm gonna like put the baby in grandma's hands
Uh-huh.
while it's taking the pie at the same time, and then making it an expeditious retreat. So I have to train Sylvie to like on cue make super cute baby noises to cause a distraction, so I can slip over the pie. Nobody notices.
Oh, she's gonna foul you. She's gonna be like, "Oh, you want me to be cute? I'm gonna scream as loud as I can."
Or she's gonna like poop. She's on. And then I'm gonna make my way. So I've already got. I've got a Swiss Army knife of utensils. It has like a fork and a spoon and stuff. So I'm ready to eat the pie.
So it's all been planned. There's
It's
maps. I'm assuming that have been
it's
made.
been premeditated.
That sounds about right. That sounds about the Mikey way of doing Thanksgiving.
You know, Sylvie's an accomplice. I'm gonna somehow. I'll save her some pie. I can taste, but that's that trick.
Okay.
So that's my Thanksgiving plan.
I can't wait to hear what happens afterwards. The stories that will come after. Those are the best stories. This is what you wanted to do, but what actually happened.
I slipped. The pie went up. I went down.
And the dogs feasted.
It was a good day for the puppers.
And Ben, what are you doing for Thanksgiving, Ben?
He said, I didn't know it was part of this conversation.
Oh, my microphone was on already. I have no idea, as I haven't talked to the boss. I think that we're doing the Friendsgiving on Friday, but
yes.
On Thursday, I don't know.
You know,
just going to both families?
I think so. I don't know.
Just chilling.
You guys aren't doing anything
we're going to
at
my
your house?
sister's.
Oh, okay.
She's doing our family party, but it's kind of like there's like 20 nieces and nephews, so it's rough.
Oh.
Not that many, but it's a lot.
Dang, how's Christmas then? Chaos.
Yeah. But they're all like morning people, and they're all up at like 7 o'clock and like done opening presents by 8 o'clock, and then me and Amy wake up at like noon.
Oh, so you don't see the chaos that ensues of like the
Don't
organization care. Of who opens what first? See, we only have one child, so things are very organized in our house. Our son goes and he picks up one present and he hands it to the appropriate person, and he makes a little stack for himself, and then we all sit and we have our stacks, and then we all take turns opening things. It's very organized. If we would have had more children, I'm sure we're barely holding shit together, Josh and I, like as normal adults. So I can only imagine multiple children, what that would have done.
My mom had to number code our Christmas presents because we got too good at guessing what our presents were. So like there was like 9 different.
So she had like a list?
Yeah, so she had a code for like 9 different codes for each one of us, and like so we didn't know whose was who. Because literally there was one year I walked over and I shook every single present. I was like, this is your saddle, this is my book, this is your blah blah blah, and like it was bad.
Bad.
I would hate you.
Ben ruined Christmas.
I did.
Dude.
There was one present I couldn't guess because my mom put 3 things in one box and I couldn't guess all of them.
Oh, see,
so that's why she started numbering everything.
That sucks when us moms have to like start getting even more creative because our kids are shitheads.
I feel like that would actually make it a bit more fun for me specifically, because I would just put the most random of things. I'd add a fork in there. Just I have no idea what this is.
My mom put a Pokemon game and a Pokemon guide in the same package, and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, see, I'm one that Santa wraps his presents. Josh grew up with Santa didn't wrap his presents. Like Santa just brought him with bows, like ribbons and bows on them, and
that's convenient.
Yeah, but for me, like the whole fun and like is the anxiety of making sure the presents are wrapped. So like I have to do it, and like I go a step further, and every year Santa's always got. He's very self like egotistical. Like he likes to have wrapping paper that has his face on it.
Of course.
So you know it's from him.
Yeah.
And you know it's his because his face. He's like, hey, it's from me.
Just in case you might have like questioned who this was from.
It's from Santa. Mom would never buy presents and put Santa's face all over them. No, I would not, my dear. Only Santa would do that. He's a kind man, not into himself at all.
I got Sylvia a gift for Christmas already. I can't tell anyone about it because it's a surprise for everyone, and it's gonna be the best ever.
It's the robot that the dogs are in on that Rick and Morty episode, so she could then just be mobile and talk to you and just destroy people.
We'll take over the world.
She's all.
I cannot live without my Morty.
Little war machine. Look at Katie. What?
Yeah.
I got my daughter a war machine for Christmas.
Yay!
Surprise, everyone! Be ready to have the dance.
It runs on fear and blood. What are you doing for giving of thanks?
I am going to go to Travis Woodall's house. My mother-in-law is joining us. No, it's okay. It's okay. Because there'll be other people there.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
So it'll be fine. It happens, and it'll be a lot of friends. So it'll be nice. It'll be fun. It'll probably be a lot of face hurting from laughter. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is just the fun times and the laughter and being able to take that with me.
And then Friday, Black Friday, for those of you guys who are out shopping, good luck. For the guys not out shopping,
Please remember to turn your phone sideways so that we get good videos of all fights.
oh yeah,
Not portrait view. We want the
landscape. That's
better editing purposes.
But Friday, we're all gonna hang out and have our own little Thanksgiving together. It's a pajama party. I'm very excited.
Yeah. It's like an adult and child
Yeah, I'm bringing a
pajama
baby.
party. Yeah.
Speaking of the Pip Yap thing,
Yes.
Pip Yap, Travis, we got to play an adventure that he wrote. I don't know if it's fully published yet. It's called The Fires Grow in Kanya, Cania. It's called Pip Yap's Guide. It's so frustrating. He sends you on an adventure. You're tier 3. Sends you on an adventure to go find cookies. There's a clone of Pip Yap that stole cookies.
Oh, yes.
You have to go into a school in the 9 hells to go get these cookies. There's no cookies.
There's no cookies?
There's no cookies.
Oh, I can't wait to tell Travis how annoyed you are by it.
Charles and I were both, Fritz and I were both super frustrated that there was no cookies.
And yes, Fritz, he is charming enough. I believe his mother might be coming, so hopefully mothers can entertain each other.
They might band together and become like the super mother-in-law war machine.
And at that point, I will go outside and smoke as many joints as humanly possible.
Well, those are our morning
Fritz says he was
announcements.
pretty pissed.
There's one more.
There's one more. We have one more morning announcement.
Oh, what?
WizKids Wave 10
Wiz-
came out today.
That's
Miniatures.
Wave
All the
10.
elementals. There's some really cool monks. There's some really cool town scenery stuff. The Pit Devil or Pit Fiend. It's a Pathfinder one, but it looks really good.
Ooh, so WizKids Wave 10 of miniatures is out. That's pretty dope. Pretty cool, man.
We'll have to check those out.
That's,
Fritz says, not my favorite module at all. 0 goats, no goblins, only light imps and light cookies, and 0 direction about the actual goal of the module. Duly noted. I will bring that to his attention. I'm sure he will direct
He'll
that.
be in the middle of like carving the turkey, and be like, Travis.
No,
he'll
he'll direct the shortcomings by just blurting a name or something. I'm sure be like, it wasn't me.
So that is it for our morning announcements. Let's get to the bulk of today's show. What are we doing today?
Besides reading chat and getting distracted because I'm stoned, as Ben would say, at 12?
He said, "Isn't there a rule about that?" Yeah, you should be high the moment you wake up.
Yeah, I should have been high at 6.
Yeah.
But I
Were you
wasn't.
up at 6?
No,
Oh,
thank
thank
God.
goodness.
I would die. Today we are going to finish some of the Eberron stuff. I noticed a big difference between the Wayfinder's Guide to the Rising of the Last War. I feel like it's a little too simplified. I feel like some of the stuff that helped give more description and understand whatever the dynamic that they're trying to explain to you there, or whatever thing, is now a little bit more confusing, a little bit more vague in certain things than it was before. Some things are needed to be simplified, like, okay, that's a little too wordy for something that doesn't need that much. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of that was taken. My dislike of the Warforge kind of like dumbed down. I don't really like that.
Oh.
I wish there was still some of that subclass or that sub race.
Oh, the crazy sub, like
the sub
basically
race
when
stuff,
you picked a Warforge, you got to really customize what kind of Warforge you were.
Yeah, like, cause okay, so I created for Zeke this weekend we took Ben's advice and we did a Baymax theme, which was fantastic. We did such a good job. I played a female hero, but we called her Hira. And she was an alchemist from the House of Cannith. So that was really fun for me. You played a goblin who was like a Fred version type of a deal.
Yeah, I made costumes. I was the oh god.
Your character came in handy quite a few times.
Yeah, I did that, yeah.
But okay, so now back to where I was creating. I created Zeke a war domain cleric warforge. So it was still pretty dominant, and it still worked out for what it needed to be, but I felt like it didn't have that extra flair of like, this is why I was created for this, you know what I mean? And I feel like that those sub race features were it gave it that special flair, like, this is why I was made. And I think it would have made my son understand a little bit more too, or at least feel
like of his character's dynamic.
Yeah, like, okay, this is why I'm like this, and here's a little extra about what you get so that you can understand why you're this healer. Because our backstory was this long backstory, which if you know Big Hero 6, it's really not that different. And then it goes into like, well, our purpose in war was to now go save kids and try to heal them and get them out of the war grounds, and bring them into safety. And then now that's kind of still what we choose to do, is like keep helping the innocent.
My favorite moment of the whole night was you and Zeke, and you said something clever to Zeke, and you were like,
"Oh yeah," he's all, it was fantastic.
It was great.
I went to go do it. He's like, no, Mom, no, do it again. I'm supposed to be the only one that does it. And I was like, all right. My favorite part, I played an alchemist, and I've never played an alchemist before. And if you've never had the opportunity to play one, this is the absolute best time to get into to use an alchemist, which I learned that back in 2012 when the alchemist was brought in because of Eberron. It was because of Eberron that they kept it and made it like a part of what was going on. Like in everyday D&D, like you can make an alchemist, you know? I thought that was really freaking cool. And so I decided, as a character like Hiro would be, you know, the little tinker, super gifted kid, I think if you go to play no, not alchemist. Why did I say alchemist? The artificer. Wow, I'm just totally saying. Why didn't you correct me? I know you wanted to.
I was gonna see how many times you were gonna say alchemist.
Which you can be an alchemist as an artificer. Yeah. So
you got it. You were right there.
I know. Alchemist is a subdomain. Yeah, exactly, Fritz. I screwed that up. I haven't even picked my subdomain yet for it. But anyways, I'm the artificer. That's what I was
House of Cannith. My name is Ada.
Oh my god, I played her so great, didn't I? Like, she was a very proud little human from the House of Cannith. She was very proud from what she came from. And with that, I got this special like ability, which we will get into because we are going to build her. We're going to rebuild her on D&D Beyond, so we can kind of work together and show you how we did this, and how we did the class with the marks and how all that kind of works itself out. Because they get pretty dominant when you add the dragon marks. I'm not gonna lie, that shit's crazy.
It added a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little OP, but it fits in with the everything else that's OP in the place. But anyways, the thing that I liked was the little cube. Remember the little cube where I
Oh,
had
the
you
one where you
speak
could-
Goblin in it?
Yeah, you could have it record like a message and then.
Any creature has to touch it and it activates. And Zeke's like, I put it in my mouth so it's always touching inside and it's constantly running. And he's like, I swallow it. And he's like, and it plays in Goblin. He's like, what did it play, Mom, again? I'm like, look at me, I'm a Goblin. It was great. It was so much fun. And so, I thoroughly enjoyed playing in Eberron again, getting to visit it in a different manner than I did the first time.
Yeah, I had a pretty good time.
That was fun. Where did we go, Mikey?
We were in Shar.
No. We went to the Wizard's
Oh
Key.
yeah, that's what I meant to say. We went to the Wizard's Key.
Game
That sounds
Shar.
exactly like me being like, we went to Shar.
We went to Sean. Of course we went to Sean, you idiot.
We were at the Wizard's Keep in Renton? Des Moines? Renton. We were in Renton, Washington.
Yes.
At the place of doom.
Yes. Fritz asked, why didn't you keep the Wayfinder's Guide for the Warforged if you liked that one better, or was it an AL game? So it wasn't technically an AL game, but you had to use AL rules to get in the game because Mike Huey, who was the person who organized the little shindig, he also created some pre-generated characters for the world so that it was so that once again in a public setting at a gaming shop, as you know, try to make it as even as possible at the beginning of it. So we were trying to just keep to the most recent rules to make it simple and understandable. But there are some things. The magic items aren't too different. Again, it's the wording that's changed. There's maybe a few things that have been taken away from the Wayfinder's Guide to the Rising of the War of the Last War. It's really not too different. Just like I said.
In my opinion, don't get the Wayfinder's Guide. Don't even.
Okay. So with that being said, do not waste your time with the Wayfinders unless you absolutely love it for your homebrewed game. One thing that I would say is that if you're going to go ahead and just put Wayfinders aside and just remember it as it used to be like a playtest style game of Eberron, and this is where we're officially at.
Wayfarers.
Oh, where is that?
Wayfarer.
Oh, Wayfarer. Did I say Wayfinder?
Waifu.
Oh my god.
The Waifu's Guide to Eberron.
I'm going to stop getting high in the morning. No, I'm not.
Anyways, you were saying.
As I was saying before the cleric corrected me to say the proper pronunciation. I've been on a roll today. I think it's...
You started with a roll today.
I did. Anyways, now I'm going to annoy myself when I go back to watch it and be like, you dumb bitch, you totally said that wrong.
Anyways.
I would suggest if you are a huge Bard fanatic, if you are looking to change your shifter, and again, this is not going to be AL legal.
Right,
this is
gonna be
only strictly homebrewed sense. Morgrave's Miscellany. I highly suggest you pick that up because the Bard stuff. And if you guys really want, if you guys want to do maybe a vote and let us know if that interests you for us going into some detail about it and kind of talking about it and discussing it. We would love to do a segment. If not, then we will move on from Eberron into the next stuff that we're going to be doing. But if you'd like, I would love to do a Morgrave's Miscellany segment and kind of talk about the really cool...
we said
like,
it's really heavy into bards.
The bards is the greatest part about it, honestly. It's so freaking cool the way they divide certain... It's like... Think of Harry Potter and like the different houses, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. It's like they're all studying the same thing but different parts of it.
They all magic, but I prefer the herbalism. I prefer the enchantments.
Like some of them are a little bit more about the dancing. Some of them are a little bit more about the singing. Some of them are about just the acting. Some of them are not about any of that type of talent. Some of them are just about writing like news reports and stuff like that.
That to me is really interesting.
Because that's an art. I mean, being a reporter and going to do that, that's a whole nother art within itself of writing, you know? And I think that that's really amazing that Rudy and Keith were able to capture something like that in the supplement. in that supplement part that they did. It's unfortunate that they didn't bring some of that into the new one because, like I said, a lot of the shifter stuff I really thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, being able to climb or fly or swim is a really cool option to have if you're gonna like do something neat. But again, that's for your homebrews, because if you're gonna visit a different part of Eberron that hasn't already been written or has not yet to be written about, you can at least have that where people can have an option to swim or fly. But that I really think it needed to be talked about, because it's definitely an important book if you want to explore different cool parts of Eberron.
Yeah.
Magic items. Ben, do you want me to pull up the magic items on here? Yeah. Okay.
These are rad. I've been messing around reading about all the like treasures and magic items. I mean, honestly, before we really get into the magic items, I think it's really important that we start on Dragon Shards. This is something that's an overarching theme over everything. Is there's these magic shards and these gems and this and that.
If you can remember, on our very first segment when we even talked about the beginning of Eberron to ever exist, these shards are known to come from Cyber, the dragon that was destroyed by Kyber, who was ripped apart, whose shards are now the rings surrounding around Eberron.
Yes.
So that's where a lot of these shards come from.
Well, they talk about there are three primary shards.
Yes.
There's the Eberron Dragon Shards, which are the most common, and these are the ones that are going to be like rose colored. They're basically lit around on the ground. They're just that you can stumble upon them, and it goes into more depth about what these shards are for. But then it goes into the Kyber shards and the Sybaris shards, and like the Sybaris shards. Those are the ones that are the ring around us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Sybaris is the one that is the ring. Kyber is the earth below, and then Eberron is the
mantle. But they talk
natural
about
earth.
The Kyber Dragon Shards. Those shards primarily deal with any kind of binding magics.
Where are we talking about Sybaris? Here we go, Ben. I have Sybaris up right here. Sybaris, fall from the ring of Sybaris, the ring of crystals that encircles the world, while rare and Corvair are there significant Sybaris dragon shards fields in the continent of Zendrix. And this is a potential source of great wealth for explorers. Sybaris dragon shards are ember in color with swirling gold veins gleaming within. These dragon shards are used in the crafting of magic items that require dragon marks for attunement. Larger ones may be required for eldritch machines or the creation of legendary items or artifacts.
Oh man, so eldritch machines, that's a whole other subject.
We will get to that. That's at the very end of the chapter, which are pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. So the Dragon Shards have a really heavy influence in the world of Eberron. Everything from like they're basically the primary source of magic, and they kind of make everything function within the world.
Yes.
So following that, it breaks down into more just items. So they talk about how magic items are kind of available in the world, and any common magic item is very abundant. Everyone has magic items. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. As you will see, the overarching theme here is a lot of like limb replacement living prosthetics.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the overarching theme, which I've never heard of people having limbs cut off. I mean, I guess I have heard about it once in a while, but those are like those homebrewed games that I've heard where people are like, "Oh, my arm went missing, and this is how."
Go to the arcane propulsion arm. Just scroll down to that thing. There it is. Up there it is. So, like the first item on this list is the arcane propulsion arm, a wondrous item, very rare. Requires attunement by a creature missing a hand or an arm. So this prosthetic appendage was developed by artificers of House Cannith.
It's a good house.
To attune to this item, you must attach it to your arm at the wrist, elbow, or shoulder, at which point the prosthetic magically forms a copy of the appendage it's replacing. And while it's attached, it has a variety of cool abilities. You can, you can. Sorry. I just keep cracking up about. It's not okay. Prosthetics aren't funny, but in the context, I'm thinking of it. It's silly. So the prosthetic is a fully capable part of your body. You can take an action to remove the prosthetic, and it removes itself. If your attunement to it ends, it'll just remove itself, and it can't be removed against your will. And then the prosthetic is a magic melee weapon with which you are proficient. It deals an extra D8 force damage on a hit and has the thrown property. With a normal range of 20 feet, a long range of 60 feet. When thrown, the prosthetic detaches and flies at the target of the attack, then immediately returns to you and reattaches. So it's pretty rad. You punch people. The D8 of damage is really nice to have. The thrown property is really cool. So it really stimulates kind of a monk with like ki blast and just the flat punching ability.
I don't know. It makes me think of like Luke Skywalker with the like hand. Like I just like imagine like this like spirit like dragon shard looking like crazy hand like he had. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what that makes me think. I thought it was cool. I don't know. It's something that I could see Josh being into too, because Josh is always like, "Give me that! Just cut my hand off and I can't take it anymore. My hand and all the pain and being able to be strong." I'm like,
so
future baby, Eberron, you can.
Without just like reading through literally every magic item, all of the items are really wild, and they're pretty different from the Forgotten Realms. Some of the magic items have, like, the attunement process is wild.
There's a lot of attuning going on in Eberron.
There's like living armor. When you attune to it, like the armor literally melds with your body. And you can't remove it. You run into things. There's
quite a few of those. There's ones like a really good one is called the earworm. That one is literally like it's exactly what you would think it is. You attune it, it goes in your ear so that you can understand other languages.
It teaches you.
It has detect thoughts. It has dissonant whispers. Detect thoughts. I mean, it's pretty much. It's not other languages. It's just deep speech. That's right, just deep speech. But still, I mean that. But you can't like. Symbiotic nature. The earworm can't be removed from you while attuned to it, and it can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. If you're targeted by the spell that ends a curse, your attunement to the earworm ends and it exits your body. That's just.
There's the jelly.
I'm trying to find the armor.
There's this. It's Kryn's ooze. This is the craziest. It's so crazy. Oh, the docent's really dope too.
Yeah, the docent was one of my favorite ones. I was like,
and I think
Zeke's character needs that.
It's Warforged only.
Yes. So this one's for Warforges only. This is the one that I would probably make Zeke take up if we were playing. I'd be like, you're gonna put that on.
You probably want this.
Yeah. This one, how do you say it? Docent?
That's what I call it. Docent.
Docent or docent? Do you know? It doesn't tell you how to pronounce it. I don't know. Docent or docent?
She doesn't know.
I
doesn't know either.
Docent.
It's docent?
Docent.
You sound like Google.
Oh,
docent.
Yeah.
Huh?
Docent.
We'll just be like, okay, Ben, how do you pronounce docent?
A docent is a small metal sphere about 2 inches across studded with dragon shards. To attune to a docent, you must embed the item somewhere on the body, such as your chest or eye socket. Sentient. A docent is a sentient item of any alignment with the intelligence of 16, a wisdom of 14, and a charisma of 14. It perceives the world through your senses. It communicates telepathically with you and can speak, read, and understand any language it knows. Is there a way to pull up a picture of it? I'd like to see what a docent looks like.
I would imagine it looks like a golf ball, but you know, the little, like, I don't know, the little dips in it, those are all gems.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. You don't know? Doesn't say. Life support. When you end your turn with 0 hit points, the docent can make a wisdom medicine check with a +6 bonus. If this check succeeds, the docent stabilizes you. Random properties. The docent has the following properties. Language. The docent knows Common, Giant, and 1d4 additional languages chosen by the DM. If a docent knows fewer than 6 languages, it can learn a few language after it hears or reads a language through your senses. Sounds like, oh God, it's like that little cube, or it's like that triangle thing from that show. I can't remember. When it comes to me, I'll blurt it out. But if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's this thing where there was an 80s show or early 90s. You wouldn't know. You're too young.
I was born in the 90s.
Yeah, you were a baby.
Raised by it, molded by it. No one cared until I put on the sneakers.
Skills. The docent has a +7 bonus to the following skills. Roll a d4, 1 arcana, 2 history, 3 investigation, and a 4 nature. Spells. The docent knows one of the following spells and can cast it at will, requiring no components. Roll a d6, 1 to 2, detect evil and good, 3 to 6, detect magic, and the docent decides when to cast the spell. That's crazy. It just sounds like a little, like, just an extra, like, type of, like, personality to throw into the game. That's kind of what I like about it.
I like it. I think it's fun. The Scythians trait and stuff.
Yeah, let's do personality. That's the last part on it. A docent is designed to advise and assist the Warforged it's attached to. One of the simple functions of a docent is to serve as a translator. The docent's properties are under its control, and if you have a bad relationship with your docent, it might refuse to assist you. I like that.
I like that too. I enjoy the idea of having, like, the docent would be Jarvis, and then, like, my Warforged would be, like, Stark. And then be like, Jarvis, Jarvis would be like, F you, man. Is Iron Man.
Yeah, it does. Like,
that's what I would do.
It'd be like the argument. Yeah. That'd be funny. But, yeah, I mean, that's one of the really cool ones. There's a, Darren's Tentacle Whip I thought was really, like, disturbing.
The tentacle's rad.
It's really rad, but the visualization of it is very disturbing to me.
Dude, it's Kieran's ooze. Okay, scroll down to this monstrosity. So this you got it. There it is. Kieran's ooze.
Oh, there's the living armor underneath it too.
Yeah. So this is opalescent symbiotic goo, comes sealed in a jar and slowly shifts and moves, as if endlessly exploring the jar's interior. To attune to this item, you must first drink the contents of the jar. You have to drink a jar of this gross oozy stuff, and then not only that, like, it's filled with a bunch of these really cool abilities. But the most important part to me is, so you can't, once you attune to it, you can't unattune. It's inside of you doing whatever it's doing. The only way to remove it is very similar to basically all the other items. You have to be cast with, like, a remove curse spell. And then the ooze just seeps out of your body. Like, you just kind of sweat out the ooze from
I
inside
think
you.
that's really gross.
It's awful. Like,
it's awful.
It's awful. Following that, like, if you die while the ooze is inside of you, it engulfs your body and turns you into a black pudding. It gives you the amorphous trait. So, like, as you just get to go, ooze on, and then what happens is you basically as an action, you speak the command word and cause your body to assume the amorphous qualities of the ooze. For the next minute, you, along with any equipment you're wearing or carrying, Can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. Once you use this property, it can't be used again until the next time. But you basically just become all oozy and blah, 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 blah. And like the weirdest thing to me is like everything you're wearing.
So you become like the dude on the X-Men when he's up on the beach and he's all like gross. And
it's gross.
I want to go over the living armor with everybody because I think that one's really, God, again, it's one of those that depending on what you're going for, it could be really shitty or it could be like really amazing. You know what I mean? And visually, it is very, if you close your eyes and you think about it, it's visually very ugly and very like beautiful. Scary. So, living armor, this hideous, it already just starts right there. First two words, the hideous, okay? The hideous armor is formed from black chitin.
Bug parts.
Beneath which veins pulse and red sinews glisten. To attune to this item, you must wear it for an entire attunement period, during which tendrils on the inside burrow into you.
Yeah, it just attaches.
While wearing this armor, you have a +1 bonus to armor class. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth what. And you have resistance to the following damage types. This probably is the only thing that makes it worth it, but you better hope to God that you like encounter this and need it.
Oh yeah, this is very, very situational.
Necrotic, poison, and psychic.
So you can go fight mind flayers.
So poison, I could see, like, poison's everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, poison's pretty common.
Poison is very common, and psychic too, I guess. Yeah. Psychic.
Honestly, no. No, I don't. Honestly, I don't.
Necrotic
really
is the one that
Yes, necrotic's common enough.
Is it? I mean, I've had necrotic damage done, but never like
anything
not
undead.
Like all the time.
Undead spellcasters generally all deal with necrotic damage.
All right. Symbiotic nature. The armor can't be removed from you while you attune to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. If you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, your attunement to the armor ends and detaches from you. This armor requires fresh blood be fed to it. Immediately after you finish a long rest, you must either feed half of your remaining hit dice to the armor.
That's fine.
Round up.
Yeah.
Or take 1 level of exhaustion. First off, I would probably take the exhaustion level, but isn't the way you remove exhaustion is after a long rest? So you're on a constant, if you keep the fucking armor on, you are in a constant state of at least 1 exhaustion at all times, correct?
Well, so it all bleeds into, like, you can't sleep with your armor on. So you usually have to make constitution checks to not get exhaustion. And then even with this, it also doubles on top of it. So you could very easily just end up dying from exhaustion. But giving up half of your hit dice isn't a big deal. I mean, if you're, level 2, which you wouldn't get this level. If you were level 2, you have 2 hit dice. And then you lose half of it. So you're just down to 1 hit dice.
I still don't think it's worth it.
It's totally worth it.
For a +1 to your AC? No.
It's living. It's like on your body.
I mean, visually speaking, I guess it's something cool. Like you could be like, "Oh, I'm going to attune my living armor on," but I don't know.
What about that? I mean, have you read Living Gloves?
Yes, I have. Living Gloves is pretty cool.
Same basic analogies. It bonds to your skin.
Yes.
But the perks it gives you, you get to choose one of the following, and you gain expertise in it. Actually, you get sleight of hand, or you get to choose sleight of hand, thieves' tools, an artisan's tool of your choice, or an instrument of your choice. Whenever you make an ability check using the chosen proficiency, you double your proficiency bonus to the check. So that's pretty rad.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to feed upon you and cause major problems either. So, I mean, that's not that bad.
However, for whatever reason, I feel like just emotionally, I would have a harder time attuning to those gloves. Like, just, I don't know, it freaks me out.
So, I mean, we can go through all the magic items, but I think there's quite a few in here that we don't really have to, like, go too deep into, but I'd like to really touch on ventilating lungs. This one I thought was really fucking cool.
I didn't read this one.
Oh, this one's awesome. Okay, so ventilating lungs. This one, these metallic modules were created to respond to the poisonous gases used on the battlefields of the last war. When you attune to these lungs, they replace your lungs in your chest, which disappear. I thought that was so cool, crazy. The lungs allow you to breathe normally, even in an anti-magic field, and their breathing functions can't be suppressed by magic.
Okay.
So, outside an anti-magic field or any other effect that suppresses magic, these lungs are allowed to breathe normally in any environment, including a vacuum, which means in space.
Oh my god.
And you have advantage on saving throws against harmful gases, as those created by a cloud kill spell, a stinking cloud spell, inhaled poisons, and gaseous breath weapons.
Okay.
As an action, you can use these lungs to exhale a gust of wind as if you had cast the gust of wind spell. It's a spell save DC 15. With no components, this property of the lungs can't be used again until the next dawn. If your attunement to the lung ends, your original lungs reappear.
Oh, okay. That's the point. I was like, hold on a second.
No. That's why I like these. There's very little side effect
Yeah.
to using them.
No, the
And they're
that's
really
cool.
cool.
I like the breathing in a vacuum
I
thing.
know.
That's pretty dope.
Think about that. Just, sit on that for a little bit.
Just
A wand sheath I thought was really cool too. It's right below it.
remember to always sheath your wand.
A wand sheath, if you are a spellcaster and you are using a wand, I had discussed very briefly, I believe in the second segment that we ran of the Eberron discussions that we've done. A wand is seen like another useful tool. So it's like almost like a gun, like you're gonna, if you shoot fireballs, it's almost like you're shooting fireballs out of a pistol, out of your wand, your magical weapon. So I thought that was really awesome. A wand sheath clamps onto your arm and imparts the following benefits. Now, a wand sheath can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it. You can insert a wand into the sheath as an action. The sheath can hold only one wand at a time. You can retract or expand a wand from the sheath as a bonus action. While the wand is extended, you can use it as if you were holding it, but your hand remains free. That I think is really cool, because then you're saving yourself that action of taking out the wand from having it as a bonus action within the sheath. I kind of like imagine.
Now, there's only one other part about this that's very important: is this can only be attuned to by a warforged. So
If a sheath requires by a warforged.
Yeah,
Okay.
So only warforged can do that, but I mean, that's still pretty rad.
If a sheath wand requires attunement, you must attune to the wand before you use it. However, the wand sheath and the attached wand count as a single magic item in regard to the number of magic items you can attune to. If you remove the wand from the sheath, your attunement to the wand ends.
Yeah.
So it's always kind of attached in the sheath, which
I mean,
it makes me think of like 007, like, you know what I mean? Like secret agent, like it's there and then you kind of retract it back in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool. A lot of things, we'll go down to the Eldritch machines.
these things are crazy. So the one thing about the Eldritch machines are the fact that, this, as a DM, you really get to develop these crazy mechanisms that have huge impacts on the world around you. Like in Tomb of Annihilation, the soul, what am I saying? Soul Forge, the freaking. Trap your soul machine, the soul thing.
I don't know what you're
Why am I blanking on this? I've just been running Tomb of Annihilation.
I don't know, DM, you tell me.
Doesn't matter. But these Eldritch machines are incredible, and they're really awesome plot points that you can kind of create to build a really cool narrative for your players.
Yes. I just think having anything mechanical or anything like that seems almost like scientific in the world of Dungeons and Dragons is something new and different, and I welcome it because it brings like that steampunk kind of aspect. And I don't know if any of you viewers attend like Renaissance fairs, but the idea of being able to have like go in the past and then have like that what was the philosopher
Galileo.
No, not Galileo. It's
Amadeus. Leonardo da Vinci.
Yes, there you go. Thank you very much. That was who I was thinking of. It's got that like very Leonardo da Vinci kind of a feel of like futuristic machines, you know, but powered by magic and not regular physics.
I totally agree. Like, I can imagine a bunch of like inventions Leonardo da Vinci has made, and then just like sprinkling some like magic on it to make it like alive in the world of Eberron. That's kind of
like that same feel. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And that's kind of what and then you add that noir sense to it to give it that grittiness, you know, so it still has like those deeper, darker kind of feels and colors and like secrets to the world itself.
Secret. I've got a secret.
You know?
Super secret.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. No, okay. But anyways, I really enjoyed that whole idea of it. You know, the machines and the constructs and stuff like that. I think it makes it different. It's a little refreshing to what we're used to. You know what I mean? Even with like when they brought in like Magic the Gathering kind of a deal into it with that kind of like the space kind of feel with the Loxodon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that
my elephant homies.
Yeah, it's still different than that. You know, it's its own world.
One thing, I just want to draw a very cool dynamic between so in Magic the Gathering they have these cards, they're artifacts, and they have they're Eldritch machines.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this card called the Ether Flux Reservoir that like is this giant machine that has like ether, which is basically magic, and it flows through the entire land, and it's this like really big dynamic entity.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you're to look at a bunch of stuff in Magic the Gathering, you can really pull from that into making these Eldritch machines. So
yeah, I would agree.
Cool stuff.
That's pretty cool. I've heard you talk about this before.
Some stuff, some things.
You know. Another thing.
Scuttling Doom Engine. Just stuff. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna start shouting things. Don't worry.
Well, you know who actually started? I realized that I guess in the world of Avernus, there are construct machines of cars and stuff like that. But that's more Mad Maxy feel, you know, like very post-apocalyptic, like
that's
metal.
That's very oil powered. Like it's not.
That's more like they call that diesel punk.
Diesel punk.
It's much more diesel punky, whereas this one's got more of like steampunk mixed with steam is magic.
Yeah.
You know. Another
fantasy steampunk.
Yeah, another thing that's you'll see in the world of Eberron is the elemental magics that we'll run into also.
Oh, yeah.
People will run into like the elemental magics. There's a thing called the Storm Spire. This eldritch machine can only be controlled by creatures that bear the mark of storm. Storm Spires allow House Lorander to influence the weather, which can be a boon for the local population of or a curse if a Lorander Baron chooses to demand payment for ideal weather. So,
isn't that crazy? What if you could pay for sunshine?
We're going there. That's becoming. I mean, I could see that being a thing.
I just want a little bit of snow today.
You know, they're like, oh, you want to eat? You want some food to grow? Well, it's gonna cost you because now it's raining nonstop and snowing over your fields. See how that does?
Snowing over your fields.
You're like, oh, thanks, Monsantos.
You son of a bitch.
You fucking bastards.
You
ruining
Do
everything.
something or other.
I have no problem. You know, I'm very let's keep politics out of things, but I have no problem bad mouthing Monsantos. Fuck them.
Anyways.
Hey, you know, it's the truth. There is regular stuff that they show here.
Again, yeah, like everyday magical items, anything common. Again, it's abundant. So you've got tons of like cloaks of billowing. Basically, any magic item that has like a visual effect is dominant.
Yes. The rules for the crafting, as you can see, are the same rules that you would find upon the Dragon Masters Guide or the Dungeon Masters Guide. Wow.
Dragon Masters Guild.
And Xanathar's Guide to I'm ready for Thanksgiving and turkey and eating. Honestly,
Yeah,
I am.
I'm ready. I'm really excited for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I got a whole bunch of games planned.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
You can see that the potion of healing and spell scrolls, the cost of those are going to be about 15 gold pieces, 25 gold pieces, and any other common magic item are going to be showing up as 50 gold pieces. What does the time mean, Mikey?
So basically, you would adjust this to being like, so if you're going to create a common magic item, instead of you like starting like, okay, well I make 50 potions of healing. Well, it takes time obviously to make the potions, and then this is a chart to kind of just play out the fact that it's 8 hours, which is like a full-on day it would take for you to like create this potion. So you're not allowed to just be like, well, in the meantime, since we have 20 minutes before our shuttle leaves, I make 50 potions.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's cool. I didn't know. I never knew that. That's really cool.
So,
yeah.
In terms of AL, these will be downtime days.
Yes.
Crafting complications are dope.
Yeah, let's take a look at that
So
chart.
as you just begin crafting stuff, you have a 10% chance for shenanigans.
Yes. Some of these are pretty cool little options here for you to roll with your D6. Which ones are your favorite?
I like that you need to acquire an additional rare component to complete your work. So, like, a lot of this is really fun to kind of, again, build narrative in your adventure. So you're like, okay, I'm going to start crafting this magic item. And what happens is you roll percentile dice, and normally everything's fine, but sometimes complications arise. And you can use, so they provide a couple of stuff in here, but you also want to refer to Xanathar's Guide to Everything. They'll have another list of complications.
Dungeon Master Guide too.
Yeah. And what you get to do is you get to roll, you can either pick one or roll on the table, and then it really kind of influences the ebb and flow of the adventure. So, like Katie she wants to be a jewel crafter in every game we play. She's like, I want to make rings and stuff. I'm like, okay, that's great. And so she's like, okay, well, I want to make a magic item. And I'm like, well, you roll some stuff, and it's like, you forget that there's a rare material that you must get. And she's like, I'm making a toe ring. And I'm like, yes, it's the most rare material. In the top of mountain, deep into the north. And you do all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, well, what is this thing I'm supposed to get? And I was like, a snowflake. From the, I don't know, some crazy thing. But I love that one. Other ones are like, one of them on the list that they provide with you is like House Cannith, or another dragon marked house. Takes an interest to your work. Do they view you as a threat, or are they kind of impressed by your craftiness? It'd be kind of fun if you're like, okay, I make a toe ring, and it's like House Cannith sees what you're doing. They are impressed by you, and they send you a letter of please come say hello.
I like your item becomes a sentient. I think of, you know what that makes me think of on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the sword, the singing sword who's all blah 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 blah, where it's like, what's his name? What's the singer?
I can't remember the name.
Oh my god, from the Rat Pack. Why can't I think of his name? But yes.
But yeah, so like the
Blue Eyes was his nickname.
So the sentient part, that's great. I love that. I think it's in the Dungeon Master's Guide where they have most of the tables that you can roll for sentient qualities. But again, if you were to make something and it's like, well, I accidentally gave it a personality. It's like, what is it? Well, it's a spoon that it never spills, but it speaks to you, and its identity is that it's bloodthirsty and wants you to choke, always tries to tip itself over. I don't know.
That's ultimately what it makes me think of is in the book of the Driss novels that I'm reading, there's a sword that Canterbury has, and this specific sword, she doesn't even know that it's got this thirst for blood, and it starts to make her act out of character.
Yeah,
and that's what it makes me think of ultimately is having some sort of sword that now has this personality that attaches to that becomes part of the person that is holding it. So to me, out of those options, that was the one that I liked the most. I mean, the Cannith one, of course, but I'm already from the House of Cannith, so what does it matter? They're always impressed by what I do.
You're impressed by your own work. Oh, I'm really impressed by this.
Yes, I'm going to hire myself for that project.
Somebody get me a beer. Oh, great. So I think, especially depending on your players, if your players are really into the idea of making stuff and making Eberron their own home, this really provides you with really good material to kind of help them do it.
Yeah. All right, so are we going to try to recreate this character that I made?
Yes, let's create Ooga Booga.
All right. Wait, hold on. I don't know if we might need Ben to come back. Nope, Ben does not need to come back. It went to the proper screen itself. Fantastic.
Okay, first things first. Hit that random name generator.
No.
Just one time.
Oh God, just to see.
Just one time.
Okay, I'm gonna get closer to you, Mikey. So
there's so much here.
I got iPads that have the book open. I have computers.
Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Why do you have scissors?
I have no idea. Those were there when I got here.
Bring it over here.
All right. Oh shit! I can't go too far over.
Oh yeah, we probably don't have that kind of cordage.
No. Okay, so we are in D&D Beyond. I did open up the Eberron book and purchase that as an unlock.
Oh yeah, I guess. Quick plug. If you don't have D&D Beyond, but you've always been curious kind of how it works, this is a really good way for you to kind of experience that as we walk through creating character.
Yes.
The character creation, it's very convenient. I'm a big fan of it. There are a couple of changes that I might suggest about it, but as an overall utility and tool, I think it's fantastic.
Yes.
Did you hit the random button?
Yes.
What did we get? Belthrum?
That sounds...
Hello, Belthrum. That's a fantastic name. That's just like...
Shafina.
How come the words I always get are not as interesting? Shafina. Mario, what are you doing?
Shafina.
He's not holding the gun.
Shapina.
Shepina?
All right, we'll fix that later. We'll go with Shepina for now. Okay, so when creating the character, we're not going to do the homebrew content. We're going to go ahead and try to stick to the Adventures League rules and because that's how I built my last character on paper. Which let me pull her out. Actually.
No, leave her. I remember everything.
No, you won't. We'll bring her out. Oh, here's Baymax. And then there's Hida. Alright, Hida!
Advancement type is milestone.
Yes.
The hit point is fixed.
Okay.
Prerequisites for feats and multi-classing is checked. Use encumbrance, check that off.
Yeah, we're there.
Click no encumbrance.
Oh, none. Okay. What does that mean, Mikey? I don't know what that means.
So encumbrance means when you're delving into a dungeon, you cannot hold 400,000 swords.
So we're not going to put weight limits and all that kind of crap, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Coins do not count against weight carried.
Correct. Modifiers on top is fantastic. This is just a personal choice.
Okay.
I like the modifiers on top. That's.
I like modifiers on top. Yes, that's how I prefer them too. Modifiers on top is when you have what your score is on the bottom in the little circle if you have access to character sheets, and then normally your +1s, +2s, or -1s, I like to put them on the very top because then it's easier for just
Or your eyes kind of
go immediately to. Yeah, that's kind of, and my kid was like a great example of that because he wanted to be Mr. Big Man and do it the other way. And then we would waste, I don't know how much time for his little 9-year-old eyes to figure it out. And I'm like, that's it, man. No, you're going to do it this way. And he's like, okay. And he likes it better that way too.
Yeah.
All right, next.
Choose a rosé.
All sauces. We'll just go straight to there.
We were
so we've got a human.
Now, in our other episodes, we kind of talked about all these other races, Kalistar, Half-Orc. No, we talked about a bunch of these stuff. For this adventure, you chose human.
I did. If you can excuse me 1 second.
Is the crazy stuff happening outside?
There, I believe there might be.
Bum 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 bum. Crazy stuff outside. Or not.
You can keep going, Mikey.
All right. Again, D&D Beyond, you have it so that you can choose all of your different races. We talked previously about the Changeling, Half-Elf. We didn't talk much about the Half-Elf. We talked about the Changeling, the Kalistar. We talked about the Shifters and the Warforged. They're all dope. They're all crazy. They're all fun. What are you... for this adventure, because you had planned from the beginning that you wanted to be from the House of Cannith. Mm-hmm. So we know that this is going to be a human.
I love Warforges. I wanted my son to be the Warforge.
You wanted to be the creator.
And I wanted to help be the creator.
And this is just to follow suit with the Big Hero 6 thing that was going on. Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's click human.
So we are going to be from the Mark of Making human.
Yes. Now remember, all of the marks basically replace your subclass. So it's nothing. It was a way to give everyone a lot more versatility and fun stuff.
Yeah. What's really cool is you still get your human trait where it's +1 ability to everything. Extra language. Now we got the House of Cannith. They give you information about it.
We don't care about the age or the alignment or the size. You are medium. That's important to know.
I'm sorry?
Can you be a variant human?
I believe you can.
Yes.
I just can't remember how that goes. I know that you can. If I remember correctly, in the book, it does say, we'll find out.
I think it'd be a different selection.
I think so, too. I don't think you could be a variant human with a mark, I think is what it is. I think you could still be a variant human in Eberron, but you can't be one from the mark of making or mark of whatever other human. I think that's the variant, is what it's counted as.
I don't know.
Your walking speed 30, language common plus another one of your choice.
It's kind of just is telling us a little bit about
your intelligence increases by 2, and one other ability score of your choice increases by 1. Now that's added to the 1 increase to all abilities.
Yeah, humans have crazy stat scores.
That is freaking awesome. Artisan intuition, you make an arcana check or an ability check involving your artisan tools. You can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the ability check, which I used quite a freaking bit, didn't I, that night? Yes. That came so in handy. It was so great. I had like 0 arcana, really anything to me at this point. The artisan tools came in super crafty because when you do you'll learn as we go through this with the mark of making, you get access to, and then add on that an artificer, stupid amounts of access to like different tools of all kinds. Like I had, because I wanted to be like, I make robots, I had a smith's tool on me, so in case I needed to like have access to making metal something, the DM's like, oh, well, do you have the smith's tools? Actually, yes, I do. You know, like I had these tools. It's crazy amazing how much crap you get with this. So the D4 was really, really beneficial. The Maker's Gift, you gain proficiency with one type of artisan tools of your choice. There's that. Now, that's just for this. And then wait until we get to the freaking Artificer. The Spellsmith I thought was really cool. This was the one that I was telling you guys about. That I believe this is the one that requires one for traits. No. I can't remember which one spells. I think it was the Spellsmith that allowed me to, yes, that was the one that when you go in there and you look at the details of it. Oh no, Magic Tinkering. So we'll get to that one. That's the cube. Remember that I told you that Zeke 8?
Yeah.
That's from the Artificer. So that was the Magic Tinkering. So all right, so Spellsmith, the Mending Cantrip, which on top of the 2 cantrips that you start with, well, at least depending on what you're going to do. But for me, I started with 2 cantrips, got an extra one. You also cast Magic Weapon spell with this trait. When you do so, the spell lasts for 1 hour and doesn't require concentration. Once you cast the spell with this trait, you can't do it again until you finish a long rest. Intelligence is your spell casting ability for these spells. Spells of Mark. These ones are pretty cool too.
And then these just get expanded onto your spell list. So you get to know Identify and Tensor's Floating Disc.
So as most spellcasting classes, you would start with 2 spells. This will allow you now to add an extra 2 spells to your level 1. These ones, as I said, the Tensor's Floating Disc I thought it's cool, but it's not as cool as I wanted it to be when I went to go use it.
Yeah, it will not travel the speed of a train.
No, we learned that.
Yeah, but it's very useful. It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. All right, so we will choose this race.
It kind of has all the stuff. So languages.
I believe I had chose Elvish because for the group we were trying to cover as many different languages as possible in our group. Ability score. I added. Oh man, I can't remember what it was.
You would probably add it to your dexterity.
Did I add my dex?
That's what I would assume. Or con.
It was con intelligence, wasn't it? I don't know. We'll figure this out because I know I have con intelligence and then I did other ones. Oh well, we'll figure that out afterwards. We'll go with con. Artisan Intuition. This one, and this is the one that I got. These Smith's tools.
So another really cool thing about Eberron is that it really, because like when we get to the actual abilities, like you'll notice that she's gonna have crazy high ability scores. But Eberron's really based on the idea that you are a hero and you're a very powerful entity within the world, and you're going to kind of shape the history moving forward in it.
And they also expect a lot of you coming in to pretend that like you have these worldly experiences because you just finished fighting in a war using these abilities. So that's another reason why. So for how powerful you think you are, that's got to give you an idea of how much more powerful the dangers around you are going to be. And that's really important to remember, I would say, because for how dangerous Avernus is and how how easily you can die there. In Eberron, I mean, falling off of an airship, you're dead. You know what I mean? And unless you have something that's going to help you not fall.
Like a feather token. Those are pretty rad.
Yeah, those are really fucking badass. So yeah, it's a danger. Eberron is not a happy, fun place. Unless that's what your character considers happy and fun time. Which, hey, there's that.
That's right.
Yeah. So with the Artificer, from the Eberron section here that I have, your hit die is a D8. Your primary ability is intelligence. Your saves are constitution and intelligence. Okay. Magic tinkering. This is the one I was really, really, really excited about. This is really freaking amazing and fun to use. At first level, you learn how to invest a spark of magic into the mundane objects. To use this ability, you must have tinker tools or other artisan tools in hand. You then touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and give it one of the following magical properties of your choice. Now, I totally imagine Hiro having this ability, you know, like he goes to those underground little battle fights and they're little
those
tiny
illegal.
Yes. And I just see him
fights.
being like making something and then being like, you know, instead of like empowering it with technology, he's empowering it with like magic. I think it's so cool. Your options are the object sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and a dim light for an additional 5 feet, which is great if you're in a really dark place for the entire group to have some sort of lighting. If not everyone or the majority of the group does not have dark vision, which I know as a human, I do not have dark vision. This is the first time I've ever been happy to play a human too. Have you noticed that? You tried to get me to play a human. My thought is, why do I want to play a human when I'm already a human in real life? When the point of playing a role-playing game is to be something completely different than yourself. But this is a different type of human. Like, this is a magical human. Like, this is the kind of human I wish I could be. So that is why I have no problem being a really cool human variant inside the world of Eberron.
Sure.
I mean, I have a lot of tattoos. I think it'd be really cool if my tattoos glowed and provided some sort of magical thing. Like, that would be cool.
You would do some crazy stuff and then like the pumpkins would all...
I would turn people into pumpkins. And then I would have a garden of people that were pumpkins that I turn, you know?
You'd be the pumpkin queen.
Yes, I would. Whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow this property on the object, and the recording can be no more than 6 seconds. So the way I set the play up was that I created the box and like I pushed the record button and made you talk into it and record your goblin voice into it.
In 6 seconds, I recited the Goblin National Anthem, sung in the tune of the America's National Anthem. Oh, Goblin, can't you see, Goblin, and then that was it.
It was beautiful. I can't lie. It was one of those things that you had to be there, though.
Yeah.
The object continually emits your choice of an odor or a nonverbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or anything like that. The chosen phenomenon is perceivable up to 10 feet away. And then the last one is a static visual effect appears on one of the object's surfaces. This effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like. You are my only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are my only hope. That's what I think of, is like the little quick like message segment of like of just like her like the chosen property lasts indefinitely as an action. You can touch the object and end the property early. You can bestow magic on multiple objects, touching one object each time you use this feature, though a single object can only bear one property at a time. The maximum number of objects you can affect with this feature at one time is equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of one object. If you try to exceed your maximum, the oldest property immediately ends and then the new property applies.
So you can have a whole bunch of rocks that smell like farts. And then when you try to make another rock that smells like farts, one of the other rocks loses the fart smell.
Yes. But then you can make that one glow instead while the other one farts and the other one glows.
I just want to make a bunch of stinky rocks.
Then there's some level 2 stuff here. It says infused item. The level 2, you gain the ability to imbue mundane items with certain magical infusions. The magic item you create with this feature are effectively prototypes of permanent items. So we've got infusions known, infusing an item, and that's it. We don't really have to read too much about that, I don't think, because I'm not really using that. Do you want to talk about it?
No, it's fine. We don't have to talk about it.
I mean,
It's fine. We don't have to talk about it.
artificers have invented numerous magical infusions, extraordinary process that rapidly creates magic items. To many artificers seem like wonder workers, accomplishing in hours that others need weeks to complete. We've got Boots of Winding Path, Enhanced Arcane Focus, Enhanced Defense, Enhanced Weapon, Homunculus Servant.
Homunculus.
A homunculus?
It's a homunculus.
What is
A
homunculus?
homunculus is this little.
It sounds like a
creature.
Cindyism.
No, they're adorable. You'll love homunculi.
Really?
Yeah.
Homunculi? That's a thing?
They're little creations made out of clay. They're
Oh.
pretty cool.
That's crazy. Which shows you stats for when creating this. You got a radiant weapon, repeating shot, replicate magic item, replicate items at second level artificer. Alchemy jug, arm blade, bag of holding, cap of water breathing, goggles of night, prosthetic limb, rope of climbing, sending stones, wand of magic detection, wand of secrets. It allows you to know whether you have to attune them on here. The magic item, we got Boots of Elvenkind, Cloak of Elvenkind, Cloak of the Manta Ray, Eyes of Charming, Gloves of Thievery, Lantern of Revealing, Pipes of Haunting, Ring of Water Walking, Wand Sheath. Again, on the chart, supplying with whether attunement is needed or not. In the 10th level Artificer, you get Boots of Striding and Springing, Boots of Winterlands, Bracers of Archery, Brooch of Shielding, Cloak of Protection, Eyes of the Eagle, Gauntlet of Ogre Power, Gloves of Missile Snaring, Gloves of Swimming and Climbing, Hat of Disguise, Headband of Intellect, Helm of Telepathy, Medallion of Thoughts, Puriep of Wound Closure, Pipes of the Sewers, Quiver of Alona, Ring of Jumping, Ring of Mind Shielding, Slippers of Spider Climbing. Sounds cute. Ventilating Lungs, Winged Boots. And 14th level is the last replicable item chart that they supply you with. Amulet of Health, Arcane Propulsion Arm, Belt of Hill Giant Strength, Boots of Levitation, Boots of Speed, Bracers of Defense, Cloak of the Bat, Dimensional Shackles, Gem of Seeing, Horn of Blasting, Ring of Free Action, Ring of Protection, Ring of the Ram. Oh, hey, Commander, welcome. Glad to have you in. We're building a Eberron character right now. I'm building a human that is from the House of Mark of Make that holds the Mark of Making.
From the House of the Mark of Kenneth the Making.
There you go. And we've turned her into an artificer. And we're going over some of the artificer stuff on here. We also have repulsion shield and resistant armor and returning weapon. So that is quite a few things that could be done in the wow, it just totally dropped me where I was. Where were we? That was a long list that it just completely shut down where I was at. Here we go. Artificer infusions. Wow, that dropped me way down on that list. Artificer specialist is something that we would get at 3rd level. The right tool for the job, also at a 3rd level. Then at 4th level, we have ability score improvements throughout 8th, 12th, 16th, and 19th level. Tool expertise. Starting at 6th level, your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses the proficiency with a tool. Flash of Genius. Starting at 7th, you gain the ability to come up with solutions under pressure. When you or another capture, you can see within 30 feet of you, makes an ability check or saving throw. You can use your reaction to add your intelligence modifier to the roll. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier minimum of once. You regain all expended uses after a finish of long rest. God, at 11th level you get spell storing items, magic item savant. At 14th level, your skill with magic item deepens more. You can attune to 5 magic items at once. You ignore all class, race, spell, and level requirement on attuning to or using a magic item. So pretty much, I can use anything anybody else uses.
Yeah, you can have a prosthetic hand.
I can have whatever I want.
You can have a dosimer. You can have a dosimer eye. You can have a.
Wow, man! How are people not playing? I mean, wow.
There's a lot in there.
The Artificer is wow. Soul of Artifice at level 20, we cap off there. At 20th level, you develop a mystical connection to your magic item, which you can draw on for protection. You gain a +1 bonus to all savings throw per magic item you are currently attuned to. You are reduced to 0 hit points, but not killed outright. You can use your reaction to end one of your Artificer infusions, causing you to drop to 1 hit point instead of 0. I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Come get some, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. Artisan tools. So we already have the
Smithing tools.
The smithing tools. I'd had tinker tools, which already come with, I believe, correct? I should have. Then I think I picked thieves tools. No. Oh wait, no. Oh, artisan tools. Okay, alchemist, brewer supplies, carpenter tools, right?
Yes, work with wood.
No. I can't remember. Mason tools would be working with metal, right?
No, it's more like stone.
That's still closer to being able to make like something like a warforge, right? So we're gonna go with that.
Or you want to do leather.
If you are watching, what do you think?
Or wood.
Commander. I don't know yet. So, Commander, I created this character to play on Sunday, and I just leveled up to level 2. So I haven't really gone past to what I want. I'm just getting to learn about how freaking amazing the Artificer is in the first place. And so I don't know. I'm probably going to go with Artillerist because my Warforge is the healer. So I feel like if you're going to be an alchemist, it's probably what you would use it a lot for is for medicine purposes. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe we'll ask you guys.
We'll explore later, you
know. Let's see. Artificer skill. I picked
investigation.
I think it was history. And not arcane. I did it. The athletics comes with being a soldier, I believe, right? Doesn't it? Yeah, I thought so. I don't even remember what I did when I built this. Wow. We'll just go with. We already have perception, right? Didn't I pick that the last one when I picked up the skill? Yeah. God damn you. I'm pretty sure I did. We can go back and look, can't we? Oh, it was Constitution. I hate when you're right. Where do you put in background?
It's not till later.
Okay. Choose a generation method.
Point by.
Do we remember how I did this? Yes. I believe I did it as such, no? 10, and then it raises on its own, doesn't it? By 1. Dexterity, I believe I did. Con, I believe I did. I want to say 14 for con because I think it goes up a couple and that's how I got the 16. This one I did at 15. Wisdom, I believe. That one I did at 12. And charisma, I looked at 8. Right?
So I think we may have scroll down. Okay. So previously, when we created the character, we kept the +1 to all abilities, but you actually don't appear to keep that. When you choose a mark, I guess it replaces that. I thought you got to keep it.
I'm pretty sure you do. That's what it said when we were going back on there. It said
it'll have that on there, but I think because you chose the mark of making, it changes all of your attributes from the +1 and the extra language to what the house of making gives you. So your stats don't get all wild and crazy. I thought they did.
Now, see, that's just assumptions, though. Now I'm going to have to ask questions during Thanksgiving, and I didn't want to have to ask questions during Thanksgiving. You don't get the normal subrace buff. House marks are a subrace. That's bullshit. See, I thought the way they explained it in the book is that you still get both. Oh, see, that's boof. Am I happy? No, I'm not. So then
Can we do it classic style? Put a 8 in your strength.
No.
Why?
I'd rather do that. Do that. So I'm not super shot out. Why do you always try to like minimalize my powerfulness?
Well, here's why. So because you dropped your strength to a 9, you then induced a -1 negative. Because charisma was already an 8, bumping it up to 9 still doesn't do anything.
So then screw it. Fine.
Or you can put them both at 9 and have 2 negatives.
No, wait.
So, and then also following this, like your dexterity is going to be a +1. I mean, like, you're having a 12 in wisdom. Like, you don't do anything with wisdom. Wisdom's a dumb stat for you.
Yeah, I know, but I'd like to keep my wisdom kind of up there because I would like to think that a tinkerer would be very perceptive about what is going on, especially like an artificer type of character. I would say is very perceptive.
I mean, you could build it that way. I would imagine it more as an artificer had his nose in a book and didn't really pay attention to the world around them and more about the words that were on the pages.
No, I know, Fritz. I know if I look at it, it shows on there. But that's what we were discussing, that if you look on there that you could see it. But I'm just saying that the way the wording is in the book, I thought it was going to be different. That's what I'm saying, is that when reading it in the book, I misunderstood, I guess. But
moving forward,
yeah, I'm going to keep it like that.
Okay.
I think I like it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't want her being too wisdomy either because I wanted it to be like she's still young, you know what I mean? She might be pretty smart and she might be perceptive, but that doesn't mean that like she's got much wisdom of what's happening, like so.
It's your character, not mine. Ain't my character. I've just
Amen.
very recently adopted the 315s and 3/8s, and I found that to be very satisfying.
Background. So I ended up going with a not a house agent because I wanted to actually be from the family of Kenneth. So what I did was I did soldier. Now see, I didn't know there was all this other stuff. I'll have to probably rethink that.
Pirate, a Sagage, a Haramite.
No, I think soldier's still good.
A Knigget,
Okay. So with soldier, we get a gaming set. I had picked a what is 3 Dragon Ante?
Oh,
I've heard of it, but I want to ask about it now.
I gotta remember.
No, Fritz, you're fine. Don't be sorry. It's fine. It's fine. I'm more not irritated at you or any of you guys. I'm more irritated at the fact that I didn't get that extra one ability that I thought we got. You know what I mean? That's
an additional +1 to 6 stats.
That's why I was like, dope. No, I'm sorry, Fritz. I'm sorry if it came across like that.
3 Dragon Ante is kind of cool. It's a game where you bet 3 times in a row and do some stuff. I would just choose playing cards. So that's like poker, 21, things that you know.
Alright, yeah. Military rank background, suggested characteristics. We can
These
skip.
you can leave all that blank.
Yeah.
Next!
All that.
Choose equipment. So for starting equipment, you'll choose equipment. So you get to
I didn't know that. See, this is the first time that I've like really built it like this.
It's okay.
Honestly,
I've used the Beyond numerous times now.
Okay.
So you get I need 2 weapons.
I picked a mace and a hand axe because I like the idea of being able to throw a hand axe if needed.
You get a light crossbow.
I do get a light crossbow. I went with scale mail armor. There's my thieves tools and engineering pack. Yes. So, see, all that's written here.
Because you're a soldier, you get additional starting equipment. You get to choose a dagger, a broken blade, or a piece of a banner.
I guess a dagger.
Okay. Would you like a set of bone dice or a dagger of cards?
Well, a deck of cards, but didn't I already pick that? Or that just means I know how to play the
It
game?
means you know how to play the game. It doesn't mean you actually have any cards.
A set of common clothes, a pouch containing 10 gold pieces, which, by the way, I actually have 175 after Sunday's game.
Oh yeah, because there was a bunch of money that was shelled out.
Yeah.
And then add starting equipment. Next. Nope.
No.
Click next. And view character sheet. And now we have here.
3 Dragon Ante is a card game that they actually make and sell at a real game too. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta play it. There's also a house agent background unique to Eberron, as if you might like. No, I know, Fritz. I was thinking about doing the house agent, but I went ahead and made myself an actual like member of the house. Like my I carry the Kenneth name is how I put it. So I'm Hida Kenneth. So from the house of Kenneth.
Hida Kenneth.
Yeah. That's how even it works. I don't know. But I was thinking about doing the agent, but I wanted to actually be like an actual like member, you know, like not just someone that works that carries like the marking.
That's it. That's the the dude.
Yeah.
We've got a solid 10 HP, AC of 11. We've got some cool skills. We've got, we didn't really, does the Artificer cast spells? I don't think the Artificer actually casts many spells.
Yeah, you do. Fritz says, totally get it. The Kenneth House agent gives you the alchemist supplies and tinkerer's tools so you can get so many Build-A-Bear options. Yeah. So we see here on my tools, I have mason tools, playing card set, smith's tools, thieves tools, tinker tools, vehicles for land. Oh, because I know the
She's
screen.
reading over here when she's got a monitor right there.
I know. I can't see through it because
The screen. So there's my other tools. So yeah, land vehicle is what I did pick also as my thing, which is kind of weird in the world of Eberron. Aren't I supposed to pick magic stuff now?
Do you have spells?
Yeah, I'm supposed to pick spells.
Go to your spells. Go to the bottom where the little tab is.
Oh, okay. This?
Yeah. Go to spells.
Oh my god, you guys, this looks so different from my iPad to the laptop.
Click on manage spells. And then go ahead and start with known spells. So you get 2 cantrips of your choice.
Mm-hmm. You get mending as you see here on the side of the screen, right off rip for it was for the artificer, right? If I remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commander says you were choosing tool proficiencies depending on what subclass you choose at 3rd level. You get 3 set ones, so it could affect the choices you make at earlier levels.
Okay. I'm trying to create the Disney character, so I'm trying to stick as true to like what I would think Hero from Big Hero 6, like what he would look like in the world of Eberron. So for right now, that's
he would
kinda...
be dead because he's soft and squishy.
No, he's
this world is
not.
hard and gritty.
But then Fred makes him a cool little armor outfit that he flies on top of Baymax with.
Oh yeah, Fred does a lot of things.
Yes.
His superpower, money.
So now, if there's any suggestions of what you guys, if you know the world of Big Hero 6 and who Hiro is, and maybe there's something that would better suit what the character would do, that's still useful. I did Spare Dying, just that one I did strictly on like selfishness, because that one I think is just is complete necessity in a game, especially if we're gonna have it as a cantrip. God forbid people just start dropping. And then we did light. Some of these,
you don't have dark vision.
Right, but I thought about this, Mikey. I have the ability to make
A thing
a
that
light
sheds 5 feet.
that sheds 5 feet of light. How much does the light cantrip do? I can't remember the.
60. He goes 30 bright light.
Oh, here we go. God dang you, D&D Beyond. I see. It's 20 feet.
Oh, so it's 40 feet total. But the cool thing about it is you can cast it on a stone and throw a stone.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's like acid splash, create bonfire. I mean,
We can also just expect he'll get goggles of night at some point.
yeah, and then I can always change my cantrip out, right?
No.
I thought you
following AL rules up to level 5.
up to level 5, right? Yeah.
but-
Up to level 5. I have up to level
Yeah,
5.
sure, totally. Naturally, not so much. You could take Firebolt. It's like the bread and butter of a caster.
Don't you, as a spellcaster, Ben? Don't you get an opportunity to change out your spells?
It depends on what kind of spellcaster you are.
I see.
If you are a wizard,
I don't play
a bard only when you level. If you are a sorcerer, I don't know.
I see. I normally just play fighting.
You play a
You
bard.
play stab.
I play a bard, but a bard to me is like, I don't know. It's complete support. Whereas like
it's like a saltine cracker, you know,
Like,
bland.
So paladins, clerics, and druids can change out their spells
daily, right?
daily.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Wizards can change what they know in their spell book. Warlocks and sorcerers and bards just know what they know.
Fritz wrote, also in AL you can change anything you want until level 5, so she can grab what she wants now and retool at level 3 so she won't lose anything free. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. Level 1, I already have Identify and the Tensor's floating disk. So I went ahead and added, because of my big Warforge, I never know what's going to happen to Baymax, so I have to make sure that I Featherfall him in case of an emergency. And absorbs element. Out of everything that was on here for what I would think something that Hiro would want to take on, because he goes to those underground fighting things, I could see if like they came in and attacked or whatever, that he would, and they try to use elemental magic, that he would just be able to use that and fight against them and then run off.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just kind of how I saw it. Wait, what is this? What is this? Shouldn't it frost
Scroll
out?
up. Scroll up. You get.
Oh, I get 3?
3 preppered spells.
How did I think that it was only 2 when I thought the chart and the book said differently? My, do we learn things when you put it on a computer that does it
You
for
should
you?
get grease.
Well, you get
Build
2
robots.
plus half your artificer level, minimum 1.
So why does it say Identify first if I'm supposed to already have it?
Oh, because it's on
At
your
level 1.
It's on your it'll be on your known list. It's supposed to be on your known list.
It doesn't show it though. Open the book. Let's find out. Let's learn together.
I'll check that out.
I have it already here. Open.
Oh, it's
Equal to your intelligence modifier plus half your artificer rounded down. Minimum 1.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
what's your intelligence modifier?
What are we trying to find out?
What's your intelligence modifier? How many spells you can prep?
It says I can prep 3, but what I'm saying is that I'm supposed to have Identify and Tensor's floating disk as like an already pre-established.
It's from the mark.
Yeah. Table of contents. Mark of making. It says on here. Yeah, it says
Identify and floating discs are added to the list, not ready to cast spells. From what Charles is saying. He uses D&D Beyond.
So, because it says on here, Fritz, that I get spells of the mark. So I, at first level, get Identify and Tensor's floating disk being a mark of making. Like, those are my mark of making spells.
It might just be on the list, or it might be on your spell thing a little bit later. Oh,
Read this.
right. So the spells are added to the table. So what that means is normally, like, being able to choose Identify or Floating Disc, Tensor's Floating Disc, like, you can't just normally choose those, depending on what spellcasting class you're at.
See, this is what upsets me. I didn't have this sort of problem with the Wayfarer's Guide of like understanding what they're trying to like describe in the situation. I mean, if they described it like this in Wayfarer's Guide, then that's my bad, but it just it's very confusing, the wording.
It's okay. I thought it was already a part of the list, but I didn't read it.
I thought it was too.
But it's on your available to pick list.
Then I'd rather pick Identify.
Sure. Booyah Kasha.
Is that how you close it, this button? Or does
Sure.
that take you
Click it.
somewhere else?
Click it. No, click it. Click
Stop it.
it. Go to your equipment. And make sure that you equip your scale mail. It's on the bottom. Make sure you equip your...
Oh my god, they don't equip it for you?
No, it's just in inventory. Make sure you also... There you go. Yeah. Much better. And now...
They don't equip that for you, huh?
No. If you pick up a dagger, it doesn't auto-equip.
That's different. But like if you create a character
No, he
sheet
basically
and all
just
that,
handed you a backpack, and you have to tell it what you want to equip. It's fine, don't worry about it. So now your AC is 15. Much better. That's much better. Now go to your actions panel. Bam. There we go. See, look at us. All your cool stuff's there. What are you looking all grouchy?
Because so many things that I thought were there are not there.
And they're not.
Yeah. And that is how we made Hida. I still think Zeke's was better. Now I gotta redo his, because now I gotta find out
Is a light crossbow actually a D8?
Yeah.
I thought it was a D6.
No, it's a D8. It's piercing damage.
Is a heavy crossbow a D10?
Ben, you would have to
think
answer
so.
that.
So I don't ever use crossbows apparently.
Because the hand crossbow is a D6.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
I'm
what
mixing
you're-
it up.
yeah.
I'm like, wait
You're
a
mixing
second.
up the hand
It's a
and the
light
light.
crossbow. No. I got it. I see what's happening there. I was real baffled for a moment.
With the loading property
Yeah, he said D10 with loading for heavy.
and two-handed.
There we go. And if you're small, you can't wield it, right? That's the heavy.
You can. You're just at disadvantage.
Oh, there we go. I want to be a kobold with a heavy crossbow
What?
for everything now.
Because back tactics, you get straight rolls,
Straight up.
but you don't get a sneak attack ever.
Ever. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I'm gonna be a fighter, or a wizard. I'm gonna be a
Charles has
wizard
that.
kobold.
Well,
Charles has a kobold fighter now with Nettle.
There we go. I just read the grovel, beg, cower, whatever ability the kobolds have. I love it. It just like so you start groveling to the people around you, and then your allies have advantage on attacking any creature within 10 feet of you. So you just run like, please don't kill him, and then your party is like, advantage.
he says, be a kobold cavalier and mount the heavy crossbow. Oh, mount the heavy crossbow on your pony.
There we go.
Gravel, cower, and beg. Well, we have reached the end of what is called Cleric Talk for our Tuesday, and I just realized I think I know why I'm so cranky. I'm hangry.
Oh.
So I'm gonna eat after this. I know I haven't eaten all day. I'm a hangry mom right now.
That's fair.
I'm a hangry mom that found out things didn't work out the way she thought it did.
I got cheese sticks at home.
I
with
need
my
to
name on it.
eat, take a dab, and be in good terms with what changes have been made
So
and understand.
You are like basically a divine caster where you can change your list of prepared spells after a long rest.
I can?
Yeah. You
Okay,
just
there's
need
something
a minute
good.
of time to prepare spells per level.
Oh, okay. So I can prepare after a long rest a new spell if I need to, right? As long as it's on the list of stuff that I can learn and change. Okay. Now I'm not such an angry mommy. That's okay.
Now you're not so grouchy.
No, I'm not so grouchy. Okay, the points, fine. I could take that -1 from all of the stats that I thought I was gonna have. I'll accept that. But I was a little angry with like all the spells, so I was like, dude, this is like becoming way more like restrictive, and I'm not happy with this right now. But I'm okay with this now. I think I'm gonna keep her as an artificer. I want to see what I could do with her as an artificer. I'm really excited, and I'm gonna have to now rebuild Zeke's Warforge, his War Domain Cleric Warforge, and see what I did wrong there, and do comparisons, and see if he's not as dominant. But I'm pretty sure he is. Thank you guys. Please make sure that you follow us on Facebook, friend us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you're following, and click the little button with
Like, subscribe and like.
Subscribe, like it, love it, show a sad emoji face about things, whatever you can to support.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. Again, we are Cleric Games here at Cleric Talk every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I am Cindy Munoz, the High Priestess 710.
I'm Michael Gramling, the Bard Creative.
And from here at Cleric Talks, we'd like to tell you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next Tuesday. Tonight we are going to be skipping Demons and Devils with Danny. A few of us are trying to prepare for the holiday week or have midterm papers or whatever.
Yeah.
Things are going, life is happening, and we are okay with that. And we want to apologize that we won't be here with you guys, but life happens. And we appreciate your patience and understanding and unconditional support. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
We're gonna break Bonsai, give her your love.
Oh, Bonsai, that's my girl. Yeah, that was my roomie.
Jeez.